We got in two pieces that we thought were really interesting and a little bit different. All right, we had several sales that happened this week, which is great. We're filming this as of Tuesday, so this is really early in the week. You know, we sold a Starbucks, a bluesy, I think a couple of other pieces. I can't even remember at this point, but we got in two pieces that we thought were really interesting and a little bit different. You know, we get a lot of bluesies in, we get a lot of the Starbucks in, we get a lot of those pieces in. You know, why talk about those pieces when you've heard it 100 times? But these pieces, I don't think you've ever heard of. A lot of these one-off APs or special edition APs, you don't hear a whole lot about them. And so we just wanted to take a little bit of time to go over these pieces. We did purchase them, and we believe that we're healthy enough in these pieces to where we should make several $1,000s on them. Between the two of them, we're hoping to make between $10,000 to $15,000. They can be slow movers just because of the nature of them. You know, it takes someone who has a high appreciation for Audemars Piguet. I guess we could take a little bit of time, dive into the pieces that we got, because I think you guys would be seriously interested, not just in the information, but also in potentially buying these pieces. So I'm going to pass the baton to Michael and go over his piece. We flipped a coin to see who could talk about this one. I wanted to talk about it. He wanted to talk about it. And so he won, so I've got to talk about this one. But no, this one is, in my opinion, has the coolest contrast of colors. It's such an interesting piece. We've never had anything like it at all. So I'm gonna light up my cigar, enjoy my iced coffee, and then I'm gonna let him just talk a little bit about this piece right here.
This is the AP Royal Oak Offshore. This is the Juan Pablo Montoya edition, 2004 release, limited edition. I know you hear that a lot, but truly there was a limited run on these. They did, I think, about 1,000 in platinum, a few hundred, maybe 500 in rose gold, but then they did 1,000 in titanium, about 500 in rose gold, and then only 100 of these in platinum. And so this is clearly, you know, one of the more sought after pieces. The weight of this watch in my hand is pretty incredible. It's actually phenomenally.
Dude, okay, I would say
probably weighs about 3 pounds.
We have worn full. Heavy. We have worn full gold presidentials. We have worn, you know, the watches that go for $100,000, $200,000. This is by far the heaviest watch that we've ever held.
It's very, very, very
It's not even. It doesn't even have full platinum bracelet. I mean, I
can't imagine if it did, how heavy that would be.
So, okay, would you say, like, you've got to be? I mean, you've got to have some pretty good forearms. You got to be not beefy, but I mean, a pretty like good-sized guy to pull that off, because it's unbelievable.
So the case size is wears like a 44 millimeter. I'm gonna set this over here.
Is it a 44 millimeter?
It wears like a 44 millimeter watch. I have like nearly a 7-inch wrist, so I'll put it on and kind of show you kind of the size, about how it looks. I mean, I don't think I'd recommend it to anybody that had a smaller wrist than me, but maybe with my sweater, my jacket, obviously it helps the weight, the size of the watch be a little bit more palatable. But it's really not that big. It doesn't look that big. It doesn't. Feels well.
Yeah,
it fits good. Well. Looks very, very good. It wears like a 44 millimeter watch. What I like about it though is it's got the stitching down the leather strap. Just give it like even a more robustness there. It's very, very thick on the strap. Obviously got that deployant clasp there. Makes it easy to take it off, put it on. But this one being the Juan Pablo Montoya, so Juan Pablo, right, is a Colombian-born racing, driver. And so this watch is all about racing, and there's many, many nods to racing throughout it. The most obvious is the carbon fiber bezel right off the top there. Obviously carbon fiber is, the standard for like racing components, and lightweight but extremely durable. So most of us, right, are aware of that. It's got the carbon fiber along the sides of the bezel, which is very, very cool. You can see all the bolts.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, on the sides there as well.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super cool.
I mean, obviously you've got the carbon fiber bezel, but then the dial itself, and we'll get some really, really great close-up shots of it, but the dial, it's blue. It's got the motif, the AP motif that everybody's real familiar with, the the tapestry, etching.
Yeah,
but
the
along,
tapestry.
But along the middle of it has this checkerboard flag that just waves across the middle. It's very, very cool, right in between the subdials.
You can barely see it though.
Yeah, it's really subtle, so you wouldn't see it, unless you were studying it.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite.
We got B-roll, right?
Yeah,
we will. Okay.
We'll get shots of it. One of my favorite features, though, is that the crown resembles a lock nut, like on a racing tire. That would be used, by like an air gun to take a tire on and off. So that's very, very cool. The chronograph pushers have a nod to this exhaust like design, and then for a AP Royal like offshore to have an open case back is another incredibly cool feature of this watch. The rotor's got these circles that are drilled out, also kind of emulate how they used to drill out holes in frames of cars to make them go faster, but without losing the strength. Make it take weight away.
Emblematic of that.
And then it says right on the back, the Juan Pablo Montoya model. Again, this is number 82 of 100. Only 100 of these made. It's an absolutely beautiful watch.
So so there's how many different? Talk about the Montoyas, because they're stainless steel, titanium, and platinum.
I mentioned that.
There's no rose gold.
I mentioned at the very beginning. No, so there's titanium and rose gold, and then platinum.
How many titanium?
They made 1,000 titanium, 500 rose gold, and then only 100 of these.
So this is a really niche piece.
Yeah, and
there's not a lot of them at all. Only 100 in the world.
Yeah, I may be wrong about this, but I believe the titanium ones had white dials, and then the rose gold had black, but then the platinum ones.
What, rose gold or stainless steel?
No stainless steel. So titanium, rose gold.
No. They're stainless steel Montoyas.
I could be wrong, but they didn't make these in stainless steel. They were all precious metals. If you're the type of guy that likes racing or is into sports cars, this would be a fantastic watch to have in your collection. We have it for sale for $65,000, which is probably the cheapest price that you'll see on the internet. So if you're interested in this one, don't hesitate to reach out to us. If you want more information, if you want more pictures, if you want a custom video that we'll take and send to you, just reach out to us. We'd be happy to, get you into this next watch.
So we bought this one for technically $31,000.
Are you gonna include that on video?
Maybe.
Okay. Technically.
So we we technically bought this for $31,000. Now, we're very healthy in the watch, but we know that it's worth anywhere between $60,000 to $80,000. Now, we're not expecting $80,000. We do think that we could get about $60,000 to $65,000 out of the watch. And so we're trying to move this at around there. Now, that is a very large margin, obviously, but again, it takes a very special buyer, someone who knows what they're buying. And now, if someone watches this video, they'll kind of know what they're buying, but we do have concerns about someone seeing this watch and not knowing what it actually has to offer. So we're hoping that we can move this relatively soon, and if we can't, it's okay. It is what it is. We're perfectly fine holding on to this piece, knowing that eventually it is going to move, because someone who sees this goes, a full set, it's a 2004, a full set Montoya Platinum for $65,000. I mean, the cheapest one out there is $85,000 or so. It's a collector's piece. It is one that will hold its value very well.
Unlike our normal MO, which is to move watches quickly, this one we're actually going to hold on to and find the correct buyer for it, because they're out there, and this watch is worth it.
Yeah, and I would say, honestly, the color combinations with the carbon fiber, the blue dial with the blue leather strap with the very special stitching, you have your nods and very, very subtle racing aspects to the watch. It's a gorgeous piece. I will say this, it's very heavy. It's really heavy.
I was so focused on the watch, I didn't even really take time to appreciate the box that it's in. Right in here, there's even more carbon fiber inlays throughout the box itself. So,
okay,
very cool. Very
let's move on. Let's talk about this one. Admittedly, I don't know a lot about this watch. This is the Audemars Piguet Alinghi. It's a 26062 rose gold. This one has a production year of, I believe, 2007 to 2008, or 2006 to 2007. But 2007 is really whenever the year that these came out. And this is it's not as heavy as the Montoya, but it is a very heavy watch, and it comes with a lot of weight to it. And the Alinghi, that is a sailboat racing team, the Alinghi Red Bull racing team, and their symbol is right on the right onto the right side of the dial.
Yeah, at the 3 o'clock.
Right at the 3 o'clock. It's a slightly different type of carbon fiber, but it is a full carbon fiber bezel. Now, what I love about this is that even though the year is roughly around 18 years old, you still get this perfectly conditioned bezel. And with these, after about 10 years, sometimes someone is careless, they hit it on something, you get a chip, and these are really hard to replace. With this one, it is in flawless condition. The metal itself is in such good condition. There's no major dings or dents. Now, this one we did buy for $20,000, and I think that we're expecting to get about $30,000 for this watch. Now, this one unfortunately only comes with the watch. It does not come with the box and papers, but you're not paying the premium for that. You are able to save money and get the watch just like this. It's not an open case back, but it comes with this beautifully emblemed case back. And you can see the sail team on the back. Here, I'll show that to you. So, it's really nice. And so, these are not watches. I mean, if you're a smaller guy and you have a little bit smaller wrists, smaller forearms, these really are not the watches for you. This does take a more muscular guy, a guy that's a little bit thicker, has the forearms, maybe has the height. And so this really is a watch for a little bit of a more substantial, muscular type gentleman. And if that does fit you, though, reach out to us. Let us know. We'd love to sell you these pieces. We are waiting for the right buyer, someone that appreciates the history of these pieces, appreciates Audemars Piguet, understands that Audemars Piguet is one of the holy trinities, that is a watch that is to be not just to have and flip, but one that you can own with pride. And
this whole color combination reminds me a lot of the RM11 that we had last week.
Yeah, with the black, the gold,
gold,
you got some red in there. Not only does it have the chrono functionality, but it also has the regatta functionality, so it essentially counts down from 10 minutes. And so that's really what these watches are for, is to pay homage to those things, and to have that ability. It's a fantastic watch. So if you guys are interested in this, interested in the Montoya, or if you're interested in all the other pieces that we have, check out what we have. I mean, I know these are very special pieces. It takes a special buyer and collector to actually care about these pieces, but I know that a lot of you out there are those people. And so if you're interested, reach out to us. Go to alphacrown.com. That's where we have our inventory. And then if you want to kind of be put onto our text list, that is essentially people that we reach out to before we even get watches on our website. Because the process is, we get watches in, we take product photography, we list it on our website, our various social medias. But to be honest with you guys, we move pieces before even doing all of that. We get stuff in, we do the back end work in terms of processing, but we reach out to our clients before even listing this stuff. And so if you're wanting to be a part of that list, we are wanting to grow it. We're wanting to increase the velocity in which we get watches in and out. We want to be a lot more, what's the term? Efficient, I guess you could say. More efficient with our timing in terms of getting watches in and out. And so if you guys are wanting to be a part of that list, reach out. We'd love to add you on. I will say this, if you are added and are not a buyer, we will remove you from that list. What we're more interested in is reaching out to the clients that have legitimate interest in actually buying these pieces, and thus far we've had a lot of success with that. And so again, if you're interested in that, reach out to us, reach out to me. It goes directly to the company phone. We both have access to that from both of our phones, but we do see that. So go ahead and text 469-747-2442. We'll put that on the screen below and then also in the description. So these are some pretty cool pieces. I mean, I'm really excited about them. Honestly, I like the Montoya a lot more than the Alinghi. I love the blue with the carbon. The platinum is so freaking heavy. It's unbelievable. But I'm excited to get these in, and I honestly, I've got a really good feeling about them. I feel like we're going to move these a lot faster than what we're expecting.
Have you tried that one on yet and see how it fits on your wrist?
No, I have not. I'm going to try it.
Because it's a bigger profile than this one. Doesn't mean that, doesn't mean that you couldn't potentially, pull it off.
That barely fits me. Arguably, it's a little bit too big for me. See, that's the thing though. We kind of said that. I have a 6.5 inch wrist, and so it's not that it doesn't fit. It's just a little bit bulky on me. I want you to try it on. Look, we take the time out of our day to film these segments. And of course, it's marketing efforts, but we want to enjoy them. And so sometimes we get a glass of wine. Sometimes we will light up a cigar, or I will, I guess. And it makes the time go by a little bit easier. It makes it a little bit more of a relaxed environment for us to film these. And
I'd probably be lighting up with you, but I still have this.
I bought one for you.
I know, I still have this sinus infection, and
oh man,
smoking a cigar just perpetuates the sinus infection and everything like that. So I'm trying to get clear of that in this next week, and then I'll enjoy one. But again, I think with what I'm wearing and having a heavier coat on right now, it's about what, 60 degrees outside. I probably don't even need this jacket on, but
no, I'm wearing
you're wearing cotton, man.
Linen.
Linen, yeah, you're wearing linen. It doesn't look too big. It looks good.
No, that's very fitting.
I'm right in that. I'm 6'1", I'm 185 pounds. I could use some more muscle on my body, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't need to work on that. But, I still have fairly slender wrists and slender arms. But because of my height, because of my overall size, I think I can get away with wearing some of these larger profile watches.
Yeah, I think so.
But I know guys that are shorter, that are stockier, that can also pull them off as well.
That's true, yeah.
So it's not about height, it's just kind of an overall thing,
Right, yeah, I think for me it's just a little bit too big. It doesn't quite fit my stature,
But I'd happily wear this. I'd happily wear this every day. We had that Arnold Legacy that we sold, last month or something like that.
A couple months ago.
Yeah, that was a 48 millimeter case size, but that watch felt massive.
Yeah, it is.
This doesn't even feel as big as that one.
So this one is 44 millimeters. What's the Montoya?
It fits like a 44, but it
fits like a 44.
It's like 45 or 46 millimeter, technically speaking.
Technically, but it fits like a 44.
Yeah, and I think this is.
They look very similar. I believe this one is a 44.
Yeah.
I don't know what it fits like. I believe it fits like a 44. So
it's comfortable.
It's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But it's not absurdly large. But they do. I mean, they show up, man. They show up. They don't mask themselves. They don't really hide themselves. They're not very slender at all. It kind of fits how an offshore is supposed to fit.
Yeah.
So, if you guys are interested, reach out. We'd love to sell you these pieces and just talk with you guys and not just these, but we have many other pieces. We have this back roll right here. We're selling this one for $17,000. We have this two-tone Sky Dweller. We're selling this one for
$19,500.
19? Okay, $19,500.
If you're watching this video right now and you reach out and you want it, we'll sell it to you for 19.
But if we're gonna sell it to you for 19, you have to say, hey, I watched the video and I want it for 19. That's what you have to say.
That's what you have to say.
So that one is a full set. It's a 2022, and so is this one, full set 2022. Yeah. So I believe that's correct. So anyways, we've got some other pieces. Go check out our website. We'd love to sell to you guys. Now I will say this, we are still buying right now.
Oh yeah.
And so if there are any watches that you want to trade in, we do trades. We are still consigning. So if you guys want to consign, please consign. And we are still doing the remote brokerage service. Now what that is it's a hybrid consignment process, or it's a hybrid consignment concept in which the process goes that you send the watch in, you pay the consignment fee up front, and the reason that you do that is so that we have insurance or assurance that once you get the watch back, you don't sell it, you don't move it, you don't change your mind, because we don't want to market a watch, or worse, we don't want to sell a watch that's already gone. And so if it is, we need to have a backup plan to work with the buyer to get them the piece, even if the one that we had hybrid consigned is sold. Now, that hasn't been an issue. We don't think it's going to be an issue, but we do need that consignment fee up front that goes into a separate account that we do not touch ever. We've had a lot of success with that. Not just us, but our clients have had a lot of success with that. You know, so if you've had concerns about, I want to consign, but I don't want to send my watch in, not have it in my hands, it really is about you holding on to the watch and with very, very minimal risk. That's the goal. And so we think that we have found a really good solution for that with the climate of consignment and watches. We have had so much success with partnering with our clients in selling their pieces for top dollar that maybe this is another avenue or another way of doing it, where it feels safer for those who are less inclined to send their pieces in and then have us hold them for about 2 months or so. And so, anyways, if you're interested in that, reach out. I'd love to explain to you, talk through with you a little bit about that process. And yeah, we've had a lot of success with that. So would love to keep doing that. It's been a really good thing. Is there anything else that we need to go over, or is that pretty much it for now?
I think that's all for now.
Okay.
Oh wait, you have it with you, you just didn't have it on you. That's good.
Yeah, I just didn't have it on my person. No, I never leave the house without it. I always put it in my car and everything.